Hello everyone, it's time for another late, out-of-date vinyl update. Um, I have like a year's and a half worth of vinyls to go through because the last video I recorded was like a year and a half ago, so this was probably going to be a long one, and it's the middle of summer, so my AC is going to be running the whole time, so there's probably extra noise, but we'll just have to deal with it. First vinyl I have is Bubba Hotep. This was a part of the Waxwork Records, I guess like subscription for 2024. This was one of them. There's the vinyl. I really like the soundtrack to it. The movie itself is really good too. Pretty funny. So that was a nice one to get. This is like the liner artwork that comes with it. It's got the credits here on the back. And then here is the gatefold artwork. Very cool. So here we have the soundtrack for Castlevania 4, which is my favorite Castlevania game. So I was pretty excited to see this at a local store that I go to. They also had the Symphony of the Night soundtrack, but I've never played that game. But that one looked cool too. Here's the gatefold. It's just the map of the game. Very cool. And then here's the first colored vinyl. Here's the second colored vinyl. One of my favorite game soundtracks ever. I mean, it's so good. And then it takes music from the first 3 Castlevania games, puts them into the last levels. It's very cool. I was super excited to get this one. I got it on sale from Waxwork Records. It's the Friday the 13th Part 3 3D soundtrack. Gatefold artwork, very cool. There's the vinyl, also very cool. It's a 2 LP. The other one looks pretty much the same, so I'm not going to take it out. But I really love that lenticular 3D cover. So, soundtrack's really good. I love the main theme. It's probably my favorite song out of all of the Friday the 13th movies, except for the Alice Cooper songs. So it's pretty cool to get that. Here we have yet another Waxwork Records vinyl. It's the Godzilla soundtrack. Classic soundtrack. I really love it. Gatefold art. Pretty cool. There's the art on the back. I don't know if I've been showing that, but that's alright. There's the little art piece it comes with. Also very cool. And then here's the vinyl. Super cool. Yeah, I love this side a whole lot. So, I think this was like 20 bucks at a store I got it from, like brand new. So that was a really nice get. So this one's up there with one of the favorite vinyls I got in the past year and a half. This was also from the Waxwork Records subscription. This is pretty much the whole reason I bought that subscription. The Phantasm soundtrack. There's some artwork. It's going to fold out again. It has 3, count them, 3 vinyls. Yeah, that's a lot to try to get in a shot. There's the back artwork. So, super awesome. I was so excited to get this. Phantasm is one of my favorite horror movies ever. One of my favorite horror movie soundtracks as well. So, it's got 3 vinyls in it. I'm going to show them off one by one. First here, well, it comes with this little thing, I guess, from the composer. Here's vinyl number 1. pretty much see my reflection. Hello. Vinyl number 2. Pretty nice. And vinyl number 4. So each vinyl is its own kind of soundtrack for the movie. The first one is the original motion picture music, it says. And then the second vinyl is the unused music, which is pretty cool. And then the last one is like the actual movie score, which is the one I've listened to the most. But yeah, super awesome. I was so excited to get this. One of my favorite vinyls that I have. So here we have the Prom Night 2 soundtrack. I need to get the first Prom Night soundtrack because I like that one too. But this one's pretty good. It's a lot of synth music and whatnot. The movie's pretty good too. I like the movie. I like this movie better than the first Prom Night. It's pretty much like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And then the first Prom Night's kind of a boringish slasher. I mean, it's not boring, but there's better slashers out there. But this movie's pretty unique, so I like the second one better. There's the hot pink vinyl. Pretty nice. For some reason, the actual, the sleeve, it's longer than my other vinyls. Let's try to compare. So yeah, like with Reanimator, you can see it has this little extra bit off of the vinyl. So my regular sleeves wouldn't fit around this, so I had to use one of my jumbo sleeves that I got for the Phantasm soundtrack to fit around this longer sleeve, which is kind of annoying and weird because I've never seen anything like that before. I don't know if it's like that for all the other copies of this, but that's how it is for mine. This was the last vinyl of the Waxworks subscription. It's the Salem's Lot soundtrack. So I even watched this movie in anticipation of getting this vinyl, but it literally took a year for it to get here. It got here a few months ago, and the subscription was for 2024. So it took a couple years, but it finally got here. But it's still pretty cool. There's the gatefold. Pretty nice. But yeah, I like the movie and all, and I like the soundtrack and everything. So it was still nice to get it. There's the vinyl. Pretty cool. And then how they did the sleeve for this one's pretty cool. So you could probably tell earlier when I showed the back of this, it had the little boy peeking through the window. That's how I like to have it because it's creepier. Or you can have the window just kind of open. But it's cool that it had plastic here, so you can see this little sleeve. Then here's vinyl number 2, little bluer. Pretty cool. So now we're over to this cube. This used to be all of my soundtracks that weren't horror movies, but I got so many horror movie soundtracks on this cube that I had to bleed over to this one now. And then the first one I have is the Sentinel, another Waxwork release. I think I got this one for $20 as well. Very cool. There's the well, it might be better this way, but that's the gatefold art. Both of these vinyls look the same pretty much, so I'm just showing one of them. but pretty nice golden vinyl right here. Movie's pretty good. I think it's underrated. I like religious horror a lot, and this is a pretty good example of it. Very weird too. Lots of weird stuff going on with the movie, but I like it. I think the guy who directed Death Wish directed this movie, which is kind of weird. I mean, of course, directors can direct multiple genres of movies, but it seems like kind of a wide change of genre from Death Wish to The Sentinel. And then there's the liner artwork. Pretty cool. So yeah, if you haven't seen The Sentinel and you like horror movies, I recommend you check it out. I love 70s horror a lot as well. So, I mean, even just the atmosphere alone makes me love it. So the last horror movie soundtrack and the last Waxwork record that I got is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think that this is the first time the soundtrack was put on anything. Could be wrong, but I think that's what they were kind of advertising. But either way, really cool. So I mean, either way, I would have gone this, no matter what. Because I really love this movie. This actually came with like a booklet about the soundtrack in the movie, I would assume. I didn't read it, but there's like some artwork and everything. So, and then this came with one of the other Waxwork records I got before the release of the soundtrack. Little postcard saying that the movie or that the soundtrack's coming soon. Really cool. It's nice to get to put it in with the actual vinyl, so a little neat bonus. And then this is the vinyl. Very dirty, grimy looking record. Fits the vibe of the movie. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So this was my birthday present couple birthdays ago. It is the Ape Escape soundtrack. My brother and my friend both chipped in to get it for me. This came in like April, and my birthday's in December, so I had to wait a bit. But it was beyond worth it, because this is up there with being one of my favorite vinyls that I have. It comes with 4, actually. That's the first one, red. I guess I'll show the liner artwork as well. There's Spike on that. The red monkey, or ape. So, Ape Escape's one of my favorite games ever. I grew up playing it on the PSP, Ape Escape on the Loose, which I guess is technically a remake of the first one. I now have the first one on the PS1. But I've played it so many times, I never get tired of it. The soundtrack is extremely cheery. I never get tired of this game. There's the liner art for the second one. There's Spectre right there. And then this one's got a clear vinyl. Pretty cool. Here's number 3. There's the Professor. And then the piss-colored yellow vinyl. Oh, and then here's like the liner artwork and text from like the from the composer and everything, with the track list back here. And then the last one. Blue vinyl. So yeah, one of my favorites that I have. And then, like I said, one of my favorite video games ever. I really want them to come out with a new one, but I don't think that is ever going to happen ever again. I've played 2 and 3, and I really like 2 and 3 as well. And after playing the Ape Escape level on Astrobot, it it makes me wonder why they don't just make a new one. But I don't know. I guess I can just keep wishing. I have one more soundtrack after this, but it's hanging up on my wall. But this is the last one in this cube. It's the Fistful of Dollars soundtrack. So the only one I need to get now is for a few dollars more. But this is a very good soundtrack. I mean, all three of them are phenomenal. But like I said, I just need to get for a few dollars more. But I was really excited to get this one. So here we are at the wall. Terrible lighting over here, but we're just gonna have to live with it. So my last one that I have to show you today is this one, the Star Fox 64 soundtrack. So I got this for my birthday, my last birthday, from my brother, and he was so generous to, well, this was my birthday and my Christmas present for my brother, so he was very nice to get this for me because he knew I really wanted it. Star Fox 64 is my favorite game of all time. The soundtrack is amazing. The artwork on this is super awesome. I love the old school comic book sci-fi art it has. And then this is the actual vinyl. The other one looks the same, so I'm not going to take it out. But I was so happy to get this. And then I'm excited for the remake coming out, even though I wish that they would just kind of make a new Star Fox game instead of rehashing 64. But like I said, it's my favorite game ever, so I'm going to have to be a consumer and buy the remake. Because, it looks amazing. The voice acting sucks, but it looks great. And then it comes with like this little booklet right here too. Pretty cool comic book type thing with some artwork. And some facts about the game and the soundtrack. So, super awesome. One of my favorites that I have. Probably my favorite soundtrack that I have. So, yep, super happy to have that one. Okay, we're back to the cube. And the first album I have is Highway to Hell by AC/DC. A very good album. It's a classic. AC/DC is one of my favorite bands. There's still more albums I need to get by them, but this was a nice one to get. Speaking of which, I also got High Voltage. Another very good album. Really like this one. So, yeah, another really nice one to get. I got this one not too long ago, a couple weeks or so ago. It is Allman Brothers at Fillmore East. It's a live album, one of the best live albums I've ever heard. One of my friends got me onto this. I like the Allman Brothers already, but I hadn't heard this album, and it is very, very good. In Memory of Elizabeth Reed is one of the greatest live songs I've ever heard. So I highly recommend you check that album out. I was very happy to find this at a local thrift store. It is Animotion's self-titled album. I actually saw them last year with the Flock of Seagulls. Very good concert. I love this album. It's one of my favorite new wave albums. So, super awesome to finally get this. I've been looking for it forever. I don't like to typically order albums, otherwise I probably could have got that sooner. But I like to actually go to my record stores and try to find the albums myself. So it was very, very cool to see that. Here we have Spreading the Disease by Anthrax. It's my second favorite Anthrax album. Unfortunately, this copy was a bootleg, so I still need to get like an official like pressing of it. This one sounds okay, but apparently an official pressing is much better. I mean, probably obviously, but yeah, it's nice to at least have this. But I'm still going to be on the hunt for an official copy. And then it's like a kind of clearish vinyl. Hopefully the Anthrax will repress the album sometime. I think they just had one a couple years ago, but it was in Italy. So hopefully they have one here in the US soon. Maybe. I mean, I know they're coming out with a new album, so I kind of doubt it. So I'll just have to keep an eye out for one of the pressings in the wild, but they're kind of a little more on the expensive side. But I'll figure it out. Now I'm pretty sure that this is a first pressing. It is State of Euphoria by Anthrax. My brother saw this at a record store that we would typically go to. City away from us. It's even got like the little golden promo stamp right there. There's another record I have later on that has the same direct metal mastering sticker as well as this promo stamp, and it also has like this little slit taken off of the record. So I guess it just must be some sort of stamp they have to do for these promo copies. So it's pretty cool. This is one of my favorite Anthrax albums. I'm trying to think. It might be my fourth favorite, around there. A lot of people didn't like this when it came out, apparently. I really like it, though. It's kind of a more goofier album. Not as serious as some of their other ones, but pretty cool. Very nice to have, especially an older pressing like that, and it's in really good shape. I got this last weekend. It is Bananarama's Venus. It's a single. So it's got Venus on both sides, plus White Train. I've really loved the song Venus, so, and I thought it was pretty cool. I hadn't seen this before, so I thought it'd be cool to pick up. I was super excited to finally get this album. It is Slip It In by Black Flag. It's my favorite Black Flag album, one of my favorite punk albums ever. I also need to get My War. Actually, hold on a sec. This is not my favorite Black Flag album. It's got my favorite song. Slip It is my favorite Black Flag song. Damaged is my favorite Black Flag album. I still need to get My War, which is also pretty good. But this, I mean, as a whole, this album's really good as well. I can't blame anyone for choosing this over Damaged or anything, but I'm just pretty excited to get this. Here we've got The Mob Rules by Black Sabbath. Awesome album, one of Black Sabbath's best albums in my opinion. When it comes to Dio Black Sabbath, I prefer Heaven and Hell, but this album is very good as well. Very hard hitting. I love the artwork on the album cover as well. Pretty cool, pretty grimy. Looks like it's straight out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, very good album. Highly recommend it. Here we've got Plastic Letters by Blondie. Very good album. I'm a huge Blondie fan. I still need to get their self-titled album, but this one's really good too. This one seems kind of more punkish than the rest of the Blondie albums to me, which is pretty cool. I prefer the new wave stuff, but Plastic Letters is a very good album. Here we have Don't Be Cruel by Bobby Brown. This is one of my favorite like New Jack Swing or R&B albums. I was really excited to see this at the record store I went to, because I was looking for this one for a bit as well. Really, really good album, super catchy stuff. So I highly recommend it. It's very good. This is one of the albums my parents got me for Christmas this year. London Calling by The Clash. One of the best punk, new wave albums of all time. It's kind of a mix of both. So, really, really good album. I need to get The Clash's self-titled album now as well. I already have Combat Rock, but this one is very, very good. Highly recommend it. I already set up the camera for this shelf over here, but this one was in the cube shelf. It is Smell of Female live by the Cramps. This is one of my favorite live albums of all time. Probably my favorite Cramps album. Really, really good. I need to get more Cramps albums in general, but this was a great one to start out with. I recommend this one as well if you like kind of psychobilly or punk rock. My brother and I were so excited that this album was getting repressed that we both pre-ordered it from the UK. And that happened like a week before the US version was announced, so it probably took longer to get here than it should have, but I was just excited to have it nonetheless. It is Symbolic by Death. A really amazing album. All Death albums are amazing, in my opinion. But this one's kind of up there for me. I have 2 Death albums I need to get. I need to get Human and Individual Thought Patterns. Other than that, I believe I have the rest of them. I got this one a couple weekends ago as well. It is Dick Dale, Surfer's Choice. Very, very good surf rock album. Pretty much pioneered the whole genre. It's a crime that Dick Dale isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but at the end of the day, that Hall of Fame is a big joke. Pretty cool, like Clearwater vinyl. I assume that's kind of what they were going for with this. Either way, pretty cool. This was a fun one to see in public. It is Digital Underground's. This is an EP release. Pretty good EP. My favorite song is Same Song. And then Tie the Knot's pretty good too. So yeah, really nice pickup. Pretty fun album. I need to get more Digital Underground albums. You guys probably heard that motorcycle running by. This was very nice to find in good condition. It is Aloha from Hawaii by Elvis. A very, very good live album. This is up there with being one of my favorite Elvis albums. And I'm a huge Elvis fan. Elvis albums are extremely common, of course, but for some reason I could never find this one in like a condition where it wasn't covered in stickers, or the vinyl isn't like screwed beyond belief. So it was nice to finally get this one. I got this for like $3. It's even still on the shrink wrap. It is Maverick by George Thorogood. I really only know one song on this, and it's I Drink Alone. A very good song. That's really the only reason why I bought it. I'll have to give the rest of an album a listen sometime. This was an awesome one to find a first pressing of. It is Helloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1. I still need to get Part 2. Very, very good album. Love the artwork on it. Just amazing power metal. I highly recommend it. It's not my personal favorite Helloween album. I think it's a lot of people's. Walls of Jericho is my favorite. but I mean, this is still like a 10 out of 10 album for me. So, if you don't know much about power metal and you like metal in general, I recommend giving this one a try. It's probably a better introduction than Walls of Jericho. Here we have Iggy Pop's Blah Blah Blah. I only know Real Wild Child from it. It's one of my favorite Iggy Pop songs. I'll need to listen to the rest of the album too. But this one was pretty cheap, so that song alone is worth it for me. This is another great live album. It is Live After Death by Iron Maiden. One of my favorite artworks of all time too. Iron Maiden just always has awesome artwork. Well, almost always. Pretty cool. There's the gatefold. So if that was actually at a live show, that probably would have been the coolest live show ever. I mean, that is awesome. And it is colored. There is vinyl number 1. It also has this little booklet, has some art and notes about the album. Pretty cool. And then another booklet with pictures from that tour. I guess it's like the Power Slave tour. Or it says World Slavery Tour. That's not good. Pretty cool. Awesome stuff to put in with this album. There was also that sticker right there that came with it, sitting on my shelf, of course. And then that is vinyl number 2. Nice yellow. The blue and yellow fits perfectly with the color scheme of the album cover. Now we have Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest. Very good album. I still need to get Painkiller though. But this is an extremely awesome album. So, very nice to get this. I mean, there's other Judas Priest albums I want, but Painkiller's kind of at near the top of my list for albums I like really want to get. This is Business as Usual by Men at Work. At first I didn't like Men at Work, but I've kind of learned to like them, I guess, or grew to like them, or whatever you want to say. But yeah, pretty good album. It's a fun album. Yeah, I like it now, so I recommend it. You got Ride the Lightning by Metallica. Really kick-ass album. One of their best. It's probably my 3rd favorite Metallica album. I like Kill 'Em All the best, and then Master of Puppets, and I think this. Yeah, that's probably the order. Most people probably wouldn't pick Kill 'Em All at 1, but you know, I'm just kind of stupid. But very good album. Speaking of kick-ass albums, you got Ace of Spades by Motorhead. This is kind of the starting point for me as a Motorhead fan. There's plenty of other Motorhead albums I need to get. Orgasmatron is the top of that list. That's my favorite Motorhead album. But this was like the easiest one to find. I mean, there's others, but I'm really looking for Orgasmatron. Pretty cool poster. I didn't remember that it had. Might have to put this up somewhere. And then that's the vinyl. Very cool. Hopefully there's some more Motorhead to come. I was beyond ecstatic that they put this on vinyl. Pink Floyd at Pompeii. Just an amazing album. It has my favorite version of Echoes. I guess the only complaint I have with this release is that it splits up Echoes. So part 1 is on side A, and then part 2 is at the end of side C. And I don't think that's how the concert was when they did it. So I don't know why they chose to split it up. Kind of annoying, but still sounds great nonetheless. Came with a couple posters too. I'm just not gonna take all this out. It like gives you quite a bit in here. So, I mean, the vinyl's not colored, so that's the main reason why I take all this apart. So, but I got this like the day it released. I was so excited for it. I still need to get like the DVD release of it or the Blu-ray because it is one of my favorite live performances ever. Really awesome stuff. Here we have Breakout by the Pointer Sisters. So I haven't heard the full album, but it's got I'm So Excited and Neutron Dance, which are two that I'm very familiar with and I love those songs. And Pointer Sister albums are like extremely cheap, but this was a nice one to get. Here we've got Frizzle Fry by Primus. Another one of many Primus albums I still need to get. But this is a really good album. I also need to get Pork Soda and Tales from the Punch Bowl especially. But this was nice to pick up. I listened to it like the day I got it, so really awesome. Love Primus. Here we've got Rising by Rainbow. Really awesome album. I was so excited to find this at the record store I go to, because it seemed like for a bit that it was very hard to find, but then it just kind of showed up out of nowhere in the new arrivals section, so that's why I always like to check the new arrivals. There's a little wear down here and down here and up here as well, so I mean it's certainly been used, but the vinyl still sounds really good, so really excited to have this. I mean, as long as this front cover isn't screwed up, that's typically what matters most to me, especially since this gatefold, I mean, was just kind of a picture of the band, so pretty awesome. Another Dio classic. This is a Ronettes album I picked up a few months ago. A lot of great songs on here. I still need to get the Ronettes featuring Veronica. That one's been a little hard to find. The one I did find was $40, which is pretty pricey. So I'm going to try to find a different one sometime. This one comes in a red vinyl. This album is still very good, but I prefer featuring Veronica more. Kind of the generic pick, but I mean it's kind of the most popular for a reason. It's got a catalog of some other oldies albums. Pretty cool. There's some BB King on here. How about that? One of my friends got me really into Savoy Brown, or however you say it. So I got a couple of their albums to show. This one is Hellbound Train. It's my favorite album of theirs. And the song Hellbound Train is one of the best songs I've ever heard. Really cool gatefold art in here. Really sick stuff. Amazing art. I love the art on this album. Super cool. So it's like a blues rock sort of thing. I believe that this band was kind of the precursor to Fogat. But I haven't listened to much of them actually. I've heard more of Savoy Brown. But so yeah, this was the first one, and then here we have Looking In. Another amazing album. I love the artwork on this one as well. It's super awesome. Gatefold action going on. It's a pretty cool car. So yeah, I highly recommend both of those albums, especially if you're trying to get into like blues rock and that sort of thing, or even if you are into blues rock and you just haven't really heard of them. Very good. This was awesome to get. It is My Way by Sid Vicious. got a lot of awesome songs on here. Some of them Stooges covers. So pretty cool. But the main reason I got it was because of his cover of My Way, which was featured at the end of Goodfellas during the credits. And my Goodfellas soundtrack does not include that song. So when I saw this out in the wild, it's pretty awesome to see. This next one's a very beefy boy. It is Tapping the Vein by Sodom. Super awesome album. Really love it. So this comes with 3 LPs and 2 CDs. So really cool. I will take this out and then we'll take a look at it. So those are the CDs. Just one sec. I just realized that autofocus wasn't on. Hopefully it hasn't looked absolutely terrible this whole time, but honestly I'm not even going to change it at this point. If it does look terrible, then that's just how it's going to be. It shows how much I care. So yeah, this thing is like a whole freaking book. That's what the vinyls look like. Pretty awesome. And there's still plenty more Sodom albums I need to get. Agent Orange is one of my favorite thrash albums ever, and it is like extremely hard to get. So hopefully they repress that one as well, even if it's in like a huge box set sort of thing like this, because this thing was pretty expensive too. But it was well beyond worth it. There's some cool art right there as well. So, yeah. Really awesome. One of the coolest releases that I have. There's things like lenticular or whatever. Some other material makes it shine. But yeah, if you like thrash metal, then Sodom albums are like a must listen. Especially Tapping the Vein, Persecution Mania, and Agent Orange, of course. Their debut EP is really good as well. So, yeah, I recommend checking them out if you like thrash metal. Here we have The Second by Steppenwolf. Really great album. I like Steppenwolf a lot. So this was a nice one to get. I love the shine on the cover. Pretty cool. This is Speak English or Die by Stormtroopers of Death. Really amazing crossover thrash album. It's pretty much as if Anthrax did a crossover thrash album, which is perfect because it's pretty much, you know, like the whole band of Anthrax except for, I think, a couple members. I know Scott Ian's a part of it. I think Charlie was a part of it, and Dan Spitz. I don't remember for sure though. I know that they have a different singer for sure. Cool army green vinyl right there. So yeah, highly recommend this one. All the songs are like 2 minutes long. Some of them even shorter. So it's like really fast-paced kind of rocket music. Here we have Marquee Moon by Television. Amazing album. Many say one of the best ever. There's the clear vinyl on that. Super nice. So yeah, pretty nice to pick up that one. Here we have my favorite Testament album, The New Order. Pretty nice to get this one. I love Testament, really awesome thrash band. That's what the vinyl looks like. Pretty sweet. This band I had literally never heard before last weekend. So a record shop that my friend and I went to, he was playing this album, and it was so awesome that I literally bought it off of the record player. It is Medal of Honor by TT Quick. Like I said, I had never heard of them before. It's like a hair metal or early heavy metal kind of thing. And then like my State of Euphoria album, it has this little promotional stamp, and then the direct metal mastering with that piece taken off. So, pretty cool piece to have. Really awesome gem. So, I recommend giving it a listen if you like that kind of early metal or hair metal kind of thing. My brother and I started listening to UFO, and they instantly became pretty much one of my favorite bands. So this was the first album I got of theirs, is Lights Out. When it comes to their studio albums, this is probably my favorite of theirs. But Strangers in the Night is my favorite album by them overall. I actually have that ordered and coming in the mail with another album. But that's probably going to be a bit, and I was just feeling the need to record this. But so you guys will see that in the next video probably, if I ever decide to make it. We'll see. But yeah, really awesome album. UFO is severely underrated. So I recommend giving them a listen. Really awesome stuff. We are nearing the end now. I got this compilation album of Zapp and Roger, pretty much like a greatest hits album. So it's got songs from Zapp albums, and then Roger album, like The Many Facets of Roger come to mind. But yeah, this was a nice one to get because I don't have The Many Facets of Roger. I'm still trying to find that one. I also do not have Zapp 3 yet. So those two I'm still on the hunt for. A little gatefold. That's vinyl number 1. And vinyl number 2. Pretty nice. Really awesome release. I'm a huge Zapp and Roger fan. They're really up there with Funkadelic with being one of my favorite funk acts. It's pretty much Funkadelic, Sly and the Family Stone, may he rest in peace, and Zapp. May Roger also rest in peace. But yeah, so I'm looking especially for The Many Facets of Roger and Zapp 3. And then pretty much I'll be done looking for Zapp unless I'm missing something. I heard that their other albums aren't the best. I might have to listen to them, but those are especially the ones I'm looking for. But I did pick up Zapp 1 in the meantime. So I've got Zapp 1, 2, and 4, and then that compilation album. So yeah, this is an extremely good album as well. Zapp 1 through 4, and then The Many Facets of Roger are all just incredibly amazing albums. I really recommend listening to those. But that's all of it. Quite a bit to go through. Hopefully I'll be less lazy. I kind of want to show off my movies sometime too, but that will probably take even longer. But we'll see. I mean, me recording this video felt a whole lot easier than last time. I still have speech tics that I'm trying to work through. I keep saying so, which I keep catching myself, but I still say it anyway. And a lot, like I did just there. But overall, I feel like it's been easier. A lot of less dead air for me to edit through, I think. But anyway, I hope someone out there enjoys this, I guess. I don't see how, but, you know, I watch record videos myself sometimes, so maybe someone does enjoy it. But anyway, I hope you all have a blessed day, and have a good one.